16 are in Immigration and Customs Enforcement custody.
Okay, you guys are probably wondering what you're looking at. I'm literally taping this as it's happening because Ana Kasparian has been getting, they call it, oh my gosh, I have to turn off this closed caption because it's so annoying. So you see right here the titling of the current live that they're doing, like at this moment actually, but by the time you watch it, the live will be done. And then you won't be able to get this clip, by the way. So this is exclusive because they keep, unless you're, their member, you won't be able to get this clip. Anywho, Ana responds to Majority Report's attacks. So that's what's happening here. And I will break down who the Majority Report is in a little bit. Let's just get as much as we can get out of this while it's still live before they shut it off. All right, let's go.
For arrests, alleged members of Tren de Aragua were arrested at an Aurora apartment complex. So I'm just really curious, super curious. Is ABC News funded by Polymarket, and that's why they're reporting these news stories? Are they making it up? I mean, it's just, how many gang members do you need to take over a single apartment complex? But look, that's not all. Does Emma have the integrity to admit that she was wrong to gaslight everyone about Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass's austerity measures, namely her decision to cut the budget for a fire department that had already been chronically short-staffed and underfunded? She put this up on Twitter. Lots of people are spreading this $17 million fire budget cut story, and it's just not accurate. She then included a comical thread to bolster her claim. The thread made no sense, and it was clear that Emma didn't even bother to read the thread that she herself quote tweeted. She was even called out by other lefties like Sam Sachs, who correctly stated that Emma was sharing an incoherent thread she couldn't have possibly read. And then, when told the actual facts, doubles down and accuses everyone of lying to help the right. She still hasn't deleted the post that was retweeted 5,000 times.
Okay, so let's pause for a second so I can give y'all some backstory. What this clip that I'm doing now just started with was the story about the Venezuelan gang members that were caught in, that were apparently taking over apartment complexes. The story was reported a certain way, I guess, by ABC News, and, there were illegals and all of that. So Ana reported this story. The problem is, it's like, you hear these stories, but you never hear the full story. What ended up happening was that there were people who came from these complexes and were saying, no, we don't have a problem with those people. It's just we've always had, issues with our landlord. Our landlord is, not spending money on, the actual property. And now, this story is being tossed around, spread around, everywhere, so that people can not see the real problem. Like the story of the Venezuelan gangs was to cover up the landlord's issues. Now, I'm not there to know exactly what's true. I can imagine both are true. And that's the thing. The only thing I know about Ana is, what she's accusing Emma of doing, of not looking into stories or spreading certain narratives, she does it too. So they both do it, and they're both catching each other at the same time doing the same thing. Emma Vigeland used to work at TYT. This was actually Anna's best friend, apparently. Even when she left TYT and went to the Majority Report, they would still report together and things like that. But it seems like since Anna's kind of on that I've left the left tip, the right has been coming for her. The left has been coming for Ana. But the other thing is, okay, let me not pack everything in, because let's just keep going with the goodies. I'll let this play as long as I can, and then I'll come at the end with my thoughts, all right? So just stick with me. And by the way, please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and the notification bell. Thank you to every eye that lands on these videos.
I checked today, it's still up. And therein lies the heart of the issue with Majority Report. Anyone who has a thought or belief that deviates even slightly from their doctrine is just a right-winger. And right-wingers could never make any legitimate points, right? We must all worship the all-sanctimonious Majority Report and their ideological dogma at all costs, even when there's evidence proving them wrong. Although I can't decide if people like Emma are really this cultish with their politics or if they're just terrified by their own audience.
DSA Josh, I live on the west side of LA. All the criticism that conservatives are directing towards Mayor Karen Bass is 100% motivated by white nationalism and violent misogyny. They're fascists, full stop.
Hey, DSA Josh, you're unhinged. And guess what? I'm elated that you watch Majority Report. They deserve you. As for TYT, we're going to correct the record when we get something wrong. And I'm positive it will happen again in the future. Because we're human. And guess what? Humans make mistakes. Emma is also susceptible to making mistakes. And that would be totally fine if she showed a modicum of humility and corrected herself. Instead, she plays the role of hall monitor. She polices what one can say, what they should believe, who they can talk to, and what they can talk about. It sure is ironic for someone who claims to loathe cops so much. But that's the role she and others like her play in the left wing, and everyone's sick of it. We'll be right back.
All right, so what we're going to do is, we're going to move on past this little breaky break here. She wasn't done yet. Hold on, because I want to feel like so I got to take it back actually to the top here. So we're kind of going a little backwards. The thing is that I'm really trying to get all of it that I can get for y'all. So it's literally happening right now. And it's huge because, look, again, these are people who all used to work together. And the thing that she said about Emma is true about the left. Like, it is true. The right is definitely very much more accepting, sometimes to a fault. But the left is all about the labels, all about the labels. That's why, if you want to say when I left the left or whatever you want to call it, when I walked away, now I'm just here like, don't label me anything. Just call me a Christian. That's it. I was like, remove all labels because I had been bathing in labels, if you will. I mean, I don't think I called everybody a white supremacist though. Like, but I just don't like labels. Anywho, let's get some more. What we'll do is we'll rewind here, and then we'll go. So it's almost like we're doing this live, right? F it, we'll do it live. All right, let's go.
/Medicaid, right? Well, it turns out, no, wrong. That's not what's happening. Trump had previously weighed in privately against cutting too heavily into Medicaid, telling House Republicans at a closed-door meeting earlier this month that he wants to be very careful with Medicaid. His public remarks on Hannity represented a broader and more forceful assertion of that red line.
All right, so I'm going to skip over to where I see, some of Emma and Sam footage.
Authoritative source. You'd think that TYT is totally in favor of the Trump administration gutting federal agencies. Except we're not. Two things can be true at the same time. These agencies have been deeply corrupted, do engage in waste, and should be reformed. But treating the federal workforce as if they're Twitter employees is a disastrous way to handle it, as we've been learning in recent weeks. But let's hear what Emma has to say about my on-air correction.
It is not the prediction. People make predictions all the time.
Right, I was wrong in my prediction about the election, but
this is not making some type of poly market bet here.
Yeah.
Where the outcome we can't tell.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was an abundance amount of evidence of this. And even if your opinion, not prediction, opinion was, I can't see them doing this. This is pretty radical. The idea that you would mock people for believing it and saying it was a conspiracy theory. The people had Trump derangement syndrome. I'm sorry. Give me a break.
Apologies, I forget that Sam usually doesn't let Emma get a word in edgewise, but I'll address what she said in that video in a second. But before I do, did I, Sam? Did I mock voters who were worried about Project 2025? Because I don't remember doing that. What I do recall is chastising Kamala Harris and the Democratic Party for offering nothing to voters other than incessant fear-mongering about Trump. I also remember criticizing members of the media who simply regurgitated anything the Democratic Party claimed.
All right, let's look at her kind of breakdown with some sort of tweet that happened with Emma about her, I'm sure. And then I'm going to give you guys my assessment of both of these women.
But only when she's wrong. In the lead up to the presidential race, Emma declared that her final electoral college prediction is that Harris sweeps all 7 swing states and ekes out a victory in Iowa. My only reservation is that I don't want to jinx the results, but I'm trying to avoid the trappings of magical thinking. Well, Emma, the magical thinking is what led you to think that Harris would sweep all battleground states. Not that you cited superstitious jinxing. And of course, Trump, not Harris, went on to win all swing states and the popular vote.
But coming back to the point on both of these women, both of them, with Emma, it's like, Emma does come from a rich family, apparently. And look, I'm not hating on her about that at all. I'm not. Shout out to her. Shout out to her parents for doing what they had to do to take care of their children. But sometimes people like this will definitely fall on the left because their thing is like, well, I feel so guilty for growing up a certain way that I want to save people, which you should never do something like that out of guilt. You should just do something like that. If you want to help people, just help people. Never do it out of guilt because now you give people the problems that they don't have. I don't believe in this whole notion of, black folk are so downtrodden that, they're always, disparaged. The disparaged communities, we have to always think about, like, I'm not living in that world. I'm not. Guess what? I grew up doing pretty all right, too. My parents worked really hard for me to get what I wanted to get. Okay, and I'm not guilty about it. Okay, I thank God for it. I am grateful for it. So therefore, I don't look at life where like, oh, I have to save people because I could have been them, and I don't have time for all that. I believe in values, and I believe in everybody. I want everybody to live their best possible life, and I want to be able to do what I can do to help them get there. And if it's spreading knowledge and truth, or helping people to see things a different way, or having dialogue or something, I'm so willing to do that, right? So there's that. So these are the people who tell you, oh, this is misogynistic or fascist, and they use these words a lot. Too much, okay? There are times for those words, but they use them too much. But Anna is also one who does not fully do her work. She's still, she's just now coming around to the fact that Russia collusion was a collusion. You've been in journalism way too long to not dig under, the first or even second layer. You question things, but at what point do you do the research? You have the opportunity to do so. So you're a little hyped too. So to be honest, like I don't have any personal beef with any of these ladies, but that's my answer to this. What TYT does is not supposed to be commentary. It's not. It's supposed to be adding on more to help people really understand what's going on, but they still do it with a bias. So I don't do anything with a bias. Let me be careful. Let me be careful. It's not that, like, here. I could be so biased where I'm like, oh, I'm not going to say anything about what's going on with Trump and everything. No. The people deserve the whole truth, the real truth, and nothing but the truth. And I'll leave it at that. I'll see you guys at the next one. Bye.